Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to the Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you're here. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening. And I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. So today I have a question. And I remember when I first started this podcast, I started with a question, and that question today is, what would change in your life starting today if you stopped negotiating with yourself and finally had someone in your corner to help you follow through? I want you to think about that. What dreams do you have that's up here or in here that you haven't started? What things have you delayed? Not because you didn't want it, but because you couldn't figure out how to do it alone. Or maybe you just couldn't start it because of maybe didn't have enough clarity in there to figure out how to do things. So I want you to think about that question. As you think about that question, I want to share with you a personal story. So a couple of weeks back, I was in a store, and I think it was Kroger's. And I overheard these two women talking in the aisle a few feet from me. Their conversation wasn't loud, but it was of a familiar tone, if you know what I mean by it. She had parts that was like equal hesitation, frustration, and I think sprinkled with a little honesty, if you want to say. So I heard her say something that literally stopped me dead in my tracks. She said, I need someone to help me be more accountable for the things that I am trying to achieve. I can't seem to keep things going. I can't seem to do what I want to do. I just always fall off track somewhere. And her friend said, oh, like an accountability partner? She said, yeah. And I waited. There was a little pause. I didn't hear anything. So I decided to say, hi, I'm sorry. I just actually overheard you. You said something like an accountability partner. I got one question, if you don't mind me asking. And they both looked at each other, a little hesitant and a little apprehensive. And then I hit them with, what would that role look like for you? And how would you know it's working for you? And both of them looked at each other. And she says, that's exactly what she did. So I'm saying to myself, okay, how you know that your accountability relationship is working? What would that feel like, or what would it look like for you? What do you need an accountability partner for? And what is it that you think your accountability partner would help you with? And she said, I'm doing exactly what she did. And she said, I honestly don't know, but I says, okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If you were able to, or if I was able to take on that role for you as an accountability coach or accountability partner, there are a couple of things that we would need to do. And if you have a few minutes, I just want to shoot them out to you real quick. We would first find out what it is that you're trying to achieve. Then after we find out what it is that you are trying to achieve, I want to know what it is that you've already tried on your own. And then after you tell me all of that, and I want to find out, what do you think has been holding you back? What is the biggest thing that's been holding you back? She said, wow, wait a minute. She said, well, and then her friend says, obviously, he can be your accountability partner. And I'm getting there. But the funny thing was, she said, well, let me ask you something. how much would that cost me? And I looked at her and I said, how much would it be worth if you succeeded in everything that you went after? And she said, then her friend looked at her and she looked like she had tears almost about to well up. And I'm like, whoa. And she said, I honestly don't know. And being perfectly candid with you, I think for me, I couldn't put a price on it. With tears welling up in her eyes, she could not put a price on it. Man, that was powerful. Literally eye-opening. So she hesitated. I pretty much asked the question. She hesitated, and guess what? That's when, at that moment right there, I actually knew I can help her, because I believe that many people don't need the rah-rah speech. They don't need motivation. They actually need a little clarity. They know they're tired of the same old issue. They know they're tired of dealing with what they're dealing with and can't seem to like get a way through where they can make headway to what it is that they're trying to accomplish. So, what's the next step? They can feel that gap, but they don't know how to replace the gap with something practical, with a solution that actually works for them, a daily solution, a path to follow. Like when you're getting ready to take a trip somewhere and you map out which airlines you're going to take, what hotels you're going to stay in. Life needs that sort of, it's funny how we can map out our vacations, right? We can map out where we're going on a destination, and we can map out where we're going, where we're staying. But in life, we seem to get off track. That same way of making sure we can have fun doesn't happen for the life strategy, right? So, what does that look like for you? What does your strategy look like? Have you ever been able to try something? I was speaking with a guy today, and it's funny because the last time I spoke to him, they were telling me, and him and their friend was telling me that they were starting a business. And you know, these things that we do in our lives, it all starts right here. We know what we want to do, and then we might have a period in our life where we have a job that no longer aligns with what we're trying to do in our lives, and we have to make a decision to say, do I continue to do this, or do I just go after the goal that I'm after and just go for it all? Sometimes you can, sometimes you have to be more practical, and I get it and I understand it. But this woman has been trying something for 2 years and has not been making it easy on herself. And she knew it. But what she didn't know was a deeper reason for it. So at the moment, I think that we all come to that point where we are saying to ourselves, we ask ourselves questions of why things are not happening for us. And I think that gap in our own lives, we may say, you know what, I don't know why this is happening. Or we might be in a situation like a circle that just keeps going around and around because things just keep happening. But it's not things are happening. We're making decisions, and we're sometimes making not the right decisions for us. So, where are you at in your decisions? Are you trying to build something? Do you have a dream? Is it something that you are are going for. I admire anyone who is going after their goals and making it happen. You know, when I was much younger, I was so fearless. It didn't matter. I'll just go knock on people's doors. I'll go and ask questions. I was fearless. But as I got older, I realized, okay, I can't keep doing that. And then things change. You just can't go knock on people's doors now without worrying about being shot. You get my point, right? All right, so I've gotten off the topic, but the goal is this. And the moment I think people realize they don't need that inspiration or that talk, they just need a little clarity in their lives, then they can find a way to move forward. They know they have an opportunity to learn and grow. And the only way to do that is some people need that push. Some people don't need to be pushed physically. They don't need to be pushed like, you got to do this. You got to get it done. Hey, why you ain't do this? Why you that? That's not what accountability is all about. Accountability is to find out, hey, so what's happening here? Okay, you said that you didn't have time. So tell me about your day. What did your day look like? So we're going to try to find out where there are errors in here or where there are opportunities, so to speak, because I've seen, and even in my own life, I've been busy, but busy doing the wrong things, busy not with income activity. And there's a difference, because you could be busy with all kind of paperwork. You could be busy with all kind of ideas. You could be busy brainstorming. But what have you done that was income producing? Because that is crucial. I realize that. And I know you have too. It's all about what are we doing in that moment that brings in income. So I offered something simple to her. All right. I handed her my business card and we talked over Zoom, and I gave her an opportunity whether we want to talk over Zoom at a coffee shop or even in the library, and we decided to do Zoom. We sat down and we found out, I wanted to know exactly what she's already tried. After I found out what she had tried, I realized there was something that was missing, because all these things that she had tried, there was underlying opportunities to find out why, like her limiting beliefs, because you can't move forward if you have the same thought pattern. So we had to look at the limiting beliefs, and then we caught on to some old patterns that really wasn't serving her. Then when we found those patterns, we were able to restructure those patterns, get them out of the way. And sometimes, you know how you do spring cleaning. Sometimes you go in your closet, you go up there, am I going to use this anymore? No. So let's get rid of it. Either we're going to trash it or we're going to donate it somewhere. And that's what spring cleaning does for us in our lives, because we look at those old patterns that are not serving us any longer. So we get rid of them. And sometimes we have those old bad habits that are not serving us any longer. So we get rid of those. And I'll tell you a quick story real quick. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this quick story because it has revelation when it talk about getting rid of old patterns and bad habits. I used to be a smoker, and I used to smoke maybe a half a pack a day. And there was times where if I was stressed, I would actually smoke a whole pack a day. So I wanted to stop, and I knew that I needed to stop, and I knew I needed to stop, but I couldn't stop immediately. And that's what I kept telling myself. So when we look at this lady's, her old patterns, her bad habits, and all the thinking and the dialogue that she had going on in her head that she would tell herself, and the dialogue that she would keep that other people were telling her that was negative, we had to get rid of that. But you just can't get rid of those and leave that that whole void and leave it empty. You have to replace it with something positive. You have to replace it with something practical that they can use right then and there. I mean, and when I stopped smoking, I realized I need to associate smoking with pain. Why? And I'm glad you asked, because when we generally, and all humans are like this, we generally don't like pain. So we move from pain and we're always moving towards pleasure, something a little more less painful. So if I associate my smoking pain with pain, I realize I don't want to deal with this smoking no more because it's associated with pain and I don't want to feel pain. But I just can't stop because I got a habit too. And now we're looking at the pattern. We're also looking at the habit because they're infused together. I can't stop one without the other. So I knew that every time I got in my car, I got to have a cigarette. So instead of having a cigarette, I ate pumpkin seeds. I ate sunflower seeds. And you can ask my family. They'll tell you I had pumpkin seeds and seeds all over the place. But yes, every time I got in my car, I took a bag of sunflower seeds with me, pumpkin seeds with me. And then every morning I got up, I started saying, I know I need a cigarette. I'm so used to having a cigarette for years. I've been getting up every morning smoking a cigarette. So now I'm going to interrupt that process, that habit. Yes, because it starts small. It started small with you smoking. It started small with you eating. And now all of a sudden you're overweight. So it starts small. You're going to have to start small to rebuild on positive frames, positive habits, positive patterns. So what I did was every morning I got up, instead of smoking a cigarette, I'll wait 1 hour. And then 2 days later, instead of 1 hour, let me wait 2 hours. I got to the point where I stopped. In the morning when I stopped smoking a cigarette, I said, I'm gonna wait until like noontime. And then next thing I know, I'm waiting until 3. And when I got to like 4 or 5 o'clock, I realized I don't need a cigarette now. But there was one thing that was more powerful than waking up, more powerful than me getting in my car. And can you guess what that is? It's big. It's real big. It's stress. Because when you get stressed, and that stress is upon you like a tornado or like a hurricane, you revert back to what's normal, what's familiar, what works when you're stressed. Picking up that cigarette. Then it dawned on me, I needed something to put into place for that cigarette when I'm stressed. But then you have to look a little deeper, because it's not just the pattern now, and it's not just the habit. Guess what else is? Can you figure it out? What are you getting the moment you take the first drag when you're stressed? You have to put that in terms that you can understand and find something that would replace it. For some people, it could be working out. For some people, it could be hitting a punching bag. For some people, it could be walking away from the situation and getting air. And that is a form of distraction. So you have to find out what it is that you're getting from smoking that cigarette, inhaling and exhaling. When you can replace that, then when stress comes upon you, now you're a winner. You see? And that's what we had to do with this lady. There were some limiting beliefs that she had that was attached to patterns and old bad habits. We had to tackle all 3 of those, and then we can start moving forward. What was getting in the way of her daily routine? It was her patterns. It was her bad habits. It was the dialogue that she kept. Because when things don't go your way, what do you say when you go back to what's familiar? You say, I'm never going to do this. It never works out for me. But guess what? That's you retraining your brain and coming up with ideas, and your brain is going to find a way to solidify what you're thinking and what you're saying. So yes, you're right. It's never going to work if you keep saying it. But it goes so much deeper than that, because where is that coming from? So some people carry things in their lives that were from childhood. So we have to throw out the fishing line, reel all that stuff in, get rid of it. We have to replace it. We have to give you a new dialogue. And sometimes some people have to completely rewrite their story because of all the years of this stuff just sitting there. And I'm going to bring this to your attention too. Have you ever walked in a house, a smoker's house? They had white walls at one time, but now it's all yellow from the nicotine. Imagine years of smoking, how their lungs look. Now imagine years of you limiting beliefs, unhealthy dialogue that you hold up here, bad habits. Imagine all those years, that stuff just caking on your identity. It's powerful. So it's not just about let me have an accountability partner, but let me have somebody who's going to be there and understand it and be able to dissect what's happening. Because that is what accountability is all about. Being able to see and help. Being able to understand what that person might be going through and know how to navigate the waters and the rough terrain of old habits, patterns, and inconsistencies that has been plagued throughout their years of living. So after all that, the woman asked me, what would all that cost? And I say, what is it worth for you? She said, it's priceless. But hey, I don't know if you can put a price on that. But I'm not here to take a ton of money. I'm here to really get things rolling for you. I told her as an introduction, let's do 0, 0, 0, 0, no charge. For the first 60 minutes, let's find out if we are compatible and we can work together. And let me determine if I can actually even help you. Because sometimes people need a therapist. And I'm not being funny. Sometimes you got to understand where your talents and abilities lie. And you got to respect that if you can't help somebody, then maybe I need to refer you to someone who can help you way better than I can. So no charge. That way we can see if we're compatible, right? Okay, after that first session, we find out what is going on, how I can help, what I could do for you. And we need to know we can move the needle forward. What would it take to move that needle forward? Then I created a simple accountability rhythm that she could realistically maintain. We settled on $25 for 14 days. 2 weeks, $25. After, I'm going to tell you this because this is kind of strange too. Something interestingly happened almost immediately. And when I say almost immediately, I mean like maybe 5 or 6 days. Once we built the plan and she had a consistent check-in, I'm checking in with her every day. That's right, every day for 14 days. Because if I check in with you and, once a week, so much happens within that week, but we need progress. We need to set this thing up and make it happen now, because she's gone for like 2-3 years trying to do this thing on her own, and it has been working. She's been to listening to tapes. She's been to seminars. She's been all over the place trying to get this thing working. What we need to do is 15 minutes a day. Let's find out where we at, what we got to do. What did you do? Did this work for you? Let's move something around here. I want to find out how we move that needle forward. We settled on the $25. But After a week, she came and asked me, what would you charge for a month, 30 days? And you know what I did? What is that worth to you if you succeed? Bang! She answered the question instantly after 6 days. The first day I asked her that question, she had no clue, almost with tears in her eyes. 6 days later, bang! She knew exactly what it was worth to her. I told her only $45. $45 for 2 months. After that, we can go into, if she need more time, we can go into a regular coaching session and we'll take it out of accountability. Now she has the whole kit and caboodle. I want to do that for you. If you're the type of person who's been trying this, trying that, let me help. That's all I'm saying. And that was pretty much, I think that is all that I can do for someone who has been trying to deal with this on your own. And if you're that person, you've been trying to build your business, you've been trying to lose weight, you've been trying to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. And if I can help you, I'm going to let you know I can help you. But if I can't help you, I'm going to refer you to somebody who can. If it's all about your business, hey, that's fine. I have all kind of access to a lot of different people, therapists, coaches, business coaches. It doesn't matter. I know I can help. So I think, why is it important? I never even touched base on that. Why is it important to have an accountability partner in your corner? And why does it really matter? Most people don't, like I said in the very beginning, they don't need another rah-rah speech or, motivational quotes or whatever. They need a system that keeps them steady when life gets loud. They need something to help them clarify their goals and help them break it into manageable parts that they can take step by step in a practical way every single day consistently, that gets them closer to their destination, whatever that might be. Accountability works because it reduces the mental overload. It prevents decision fatigue from stealing your momentum. It prevents you from interruption of your procrastination. So you don't even have to worry about, no, I'm going to do it tomorrow. No, I'm going to do that next week. You don't have to worry about any of that. So it creates that feedback that keeps you visible every day with your consistent actions that are measurable. And it replaces the vague intention of concrete execution. Like, I'll do it another day. You wouldn't have to worry about that. And yes, why would I pay to have some accountability partner? And I'm glad you really asked. Paying for accountability partner matters more than people actually think. When you invest financially, you create what I call a healthy pressure. You have some skin in the game, so to speak. You no longer just hoping things get done. Now you are committing to changing to get things done. That small investment becomes a signal to your brain. Hey, this really matters to me. I need to focus. I need to get this going. This is real. So that's why this is worth showing up for me. And the better part of that, if you've been trying to do something and you haven't gotten it done, or you haven't gotten it done, how about I'm going to show up for me now? I'm going to show up for me. I'm not going to let myself down. And that's what it's all about. If you've been struggling to stay on track, starting something, and you keep stopping it, getting motivated, and then falling off, knowing what you want to do, but not following through, I'll make that same exact offer to you. I'll be your accountability partner for 14 days for $25. All you have to do is hit me up at the last podcast 443 at gmail.com. And in the line, just say accountability, and I'll send you all the information and how you can get started and what you need. My name is Dave. You're listening to the last podcast. Hey, do me a favor, subscribe. Do me a favor and don't miss Friday poetry session, because I have 2 poems that I created over the weekend and they're monsters. So, hey, you're going to have an opportunity to enjoy 2 poems on Friday. Definitely subscribe. And if you have any ideas about this podcast, hey, do me a favor, send those ideas over to the last podcast 443 at gmail.com. Even if you want to be on the show, you can hit me up and let me know what it is that you do. If you're a coach, hey, I'd love to have you on. Just tell me you want to, just hit me up, 443 David Burton at 443 at gmail.com, or hit me up at the last podcast 443 at gmail.com. Hey, do me one favor, subscribe. Hey, I appreciate you listening. May you and your family be blessed beyond measure, and have a wonderful week. So long.